done with.
Dude, you've been done.
I'm still here.
For what? Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition?
I'm here.
Bone face.
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did you say? Go yourself.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, with the PS5 though, like it just.
I know.
Ah, damn, y'all beautiful though, but.
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, bro. I need a PS5.
My nigga.
I feel like homie head should be normal. I have friends that I'll just go over to their house because I want to show off a little bit, and then on the way out, I'll dap them up and act like nothing happened, and we'll just talk like we're homies, because we are.
Y'all, so this dude came in my DM yesterday. He was like, "You're pretty, I'm trying to get to know you." He literally sent me $1,000 just to get to know me. And y'all literally sit here and think I'm gonna get to know y'all for free when somebody just paid me $1K for him to get to know me? Be so for real.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
You know what I love to see? I love to see when the ex leaves and does everything that I asked them to do for somebody else. That just makes me know that I wasn't the issue. It was you. And you realized you was the issue, but you was so goddamn prideful on changing your ways. You rather had changed your partner and then try to be better for them. That's cool. Listen, God works in mysterious ways, and maybe that was a blessing for me. Maybe that's a blessing for them. However, it brings me peace to know that I was right.
What kind of shit is that?
Would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not. No.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
He ain't lying.
Let her gaslight, she ain't no victim, she came over last night. Don't save her, she won't ever wreck and turn a cheating princess to a housewife. Don't save her, let her gaslight be lying when you catch her in the headlights.
What's up? Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like and share and subscribe to my channel. If you're feeling this shit, XL Pro says like and share and subscribe to the channel if you're feeling this shit. So you already know how we do. We're going to go straight to the point of the video, straight to the main event. I ain't going to hold y'all up. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Let me turn down the volume. Now, of course, with that being said, so I don't know if y'all seen that Cam Newton had a little interview with a feminist, the rapist. And it's very interesting because, you know, a lot of these people claim that they're therapists and stuff, but the truth is they don't really follow their advice. And truth is therapy doesn't always help, especially when, you know, they choose to enable certain people, aka their patients, so they can get money, and then use it as a weapon against Black men. And with that being said, I'm gonna pull up the video so y'all can make your own assumption or your own assessment of the situation. Now check it.
See my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
Okay, so I'm not married. I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just
saying,
want
or
God
by
to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay.
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active.
Interesting and ironic that, see, he's being, what did it say? Action-based, right? So what? All these 75 to 80% of children born out of wedlock and these women are choosing to have kids out of wedlock, are they not making the same choice and they're not making an action-based decision when they choose to have multiple babies by multiple men in the community? Interesting.
Stop the cap.
Okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit with.
I just find it as interesting when women want to keep families together, all of a sudden when the man is a millionaire. Because if everyone had that same mentality that she had, then guess what? The Black community, everyone, you know, the Black community will be flourishing. The Black community wouldn't have so many babies early terminated, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. So, you know, it's funny that they want to hold the man. See, he's what you call, you know, part of the 10% or the 20% of the Black community, or should I say, you know, the demographic that has money. You know, he has the money, he has the status. Shit, I mean, I'm not judging, but some people Obviously, the fact that he has 8 babies, some would even say that he even has the looks to get away with having 3 baby mamas and having 8 babies. You're probably not a bad looking dude, especially when the women look as good as the woman that he's with. Let's continue.
Without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody.
Well, see, it's kind of easy to say that. It's like, it's like someone telling you, okay, go fight war. Like, women say that, okay, well, some people say that, man should be willing to live and die and fight for Ukraine or fight for Palestine or fight for Israel, whatever the cause is, right? But guess what? When you turn the shoe on the other foot and say, okay, woman, pick up the pick up the firearms, put on the backpack, let's go fighting. They don't want to do that. So it's easy and convenient for her, the rapist, to go tell Cam Newton to go risk his millions of dollars to go satisfy their mistake. Because let's just be real. It's funny how they try to put the emphasis on broken black homes on Cam Newton as if he represents all black men. When in reality, it is actually more black women who decide to make broken homes than anyone, when we all know that, them not being with a black man means that they could get welfare, WIG benefits, Section 8, you name it. Now, let me continue with the rest of this clip.
And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy.
Oh, boy. Yo.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
The onus, is always on the black man to fix everything. Now, one thing I want to pull up in between before we get to the next clip. This is what I found out she was ironic. When I pulled up her IG, this is what I've seen. Now tell me what y'all think about this. This is kind of crazy to me. Now, of course, shout out to Bobby Trauma. He says salute. Salute for checking in, G. I appreciate you for checking out. Coming in the live chat. Now, of course, let me show you this and tell me what y'all think about this. This is what I think is really funny. It's kind of easy for therapists to, point out, the good and bad and, how everybody's doing something wrong. But look what it says, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Doctor, psychology expert, life coach, and producer at Teen Mom, life coach on MTV, founder of Dr. Bryant Institute, founder of blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, do you see where, is there a Mrs. on her name? Is she Mrs. Dr. Bryant? Is she a wife? She's a doctor. She's a psychology expert. She's a life coach. She's a producer. Shit. I have to be honest with you. See, it says at Teen Mom Life Coach. I bet you she's a single mom. I bet you she's a single mother. I bet you. I guarantee it. maybe not because she is the doctor. You kind of have to go to school, and a baby might put that down. Let's see here. Okay. Maybe she ain't got no kids, because I ain't gonna lie, her body does look kind of tight. I ain't gonna lie. She, yo, hands down, she's definitely a good looking chick, though. That is undeniable. For an older chick, you can tell she's in her 40s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's a grown woman. She look good, though. But, But it's kind of ironic how they'll go and tell, black men like, Cam Newton, who has a lot to lose if he's to fuck around and get married. And the truth is, why would Cam Newton want to get married? I mean, all those women are a flight risk. All they're going to do is like mess with him, have his baby, and then skedaddle. So, he'll give him the kid. Hey, at least he's giving them a kid. They get some child support. They get an active father. But the truth is, women really want men to put themselves on the chopping block for them, but they'll never put themselves on the chopping block for us. And I don't even expect women to put themselves on the chopping block for us, because why? It's not women's nature to, to be selfish, selfless enough to want to, preserve the man, even if it's a detriment to themselves. No, women work on being, careful and taking care of themselves. Shit, it is what it is. Okay. And I do have another clip. And listen to what she has to say about women and I guess herself. Very interesting. Check it out.
With my research, you spoke about low functioning individuals, male and female. What's the percentage of males or females that you counsel that are low functioning?
I would say that there are 70% low functioning women, 40% low functioning men.
What? So what identifies a woman to be high functioning?
A high functioning woman is a woman who wants you. She doesn't need you. When I say she doesn't need.
Oh, shit. Now, J Cash, the money man, says, what a do, Callie. What a do, G. Here you go. Hey, yo, I swear, black woman, I'm just telling y'all, I'm talking to y'all. Black woman, y'all never cease to learn. This whole, I don't need you, but I want you. See, here's the thing. They say that because they feel that it sounds a little better. And I must say, on the surface, you'll kind of you hear wants. Okay, you want. So that basically means that instead, you kind of supposed to feel like you're less used because she wants to be there. No. See, she wants to be there because she needs your ass. She needs your strength. She needs your energy. She needs your energy. She needs your baby batter. She needs your money. She needs your existence. But black women, before they just say that they need you, see, here's the thing. Black women are the only demographic of women who don't need their man. And you can see it in this woman and what she's saying.
Need you doesn't mean she's independent. That means she is interdependent. I don't need a trauma bond with.
What? Interdependent. Oh my God. Really? Interdependent? Yo, I have to be honest with you, man. The black community is done, bro. And it's done because like they're not. Here's the thing: for a black woman and black men to work things out and build any type of community or any type of foundational black anything or any type of organized culture group, it's probably not going to happen, and it will never happen unless the women are willing to bend the knee. And they're clearly showing us they're not willing to bend the knee. They want to be interdependent and all this shit. But guess what? If there's a fire that breaks in on the house, they don't want to be independent when it comes to war. They don't want to be independent. They want to be independent when things are good. When it comes to authority and control, they don't want a leader. They want a partner. Like, yo, the community is done, bro. Community is done.
With you. Okay? She wants the healed part of you, but has the capacity, because we're all human, we ain't perfect, to facilitate and deal with the unhealed part of you that's going to show up in the relationship at some point. And so that's why I always say, I want a hybrid, meaning a man who's high functioning enough to meet my healthy high functioning, but low functioning enough to deal with me when my abandonment inflames. When some
What the what the fuck? I'm telling you. Look, hey, yo, Coach Greg Adams, he always said these therapists, bro, are batshit motherfucking crazy, bro. Batshit fucking crazy. Nope. Dude, do you believe a therapist actually said that she needs someone to deal with her craziness? A therapist. Mind you, she's a doctor. This woman had at least 10 years plus of school to go get her damn PhD. What the fuck, bro?
What kind of shit is that?
my dysfunctions that I'm still working on inflame, because if he's too high functioning, he doesn't have the bandwidth to deal with the low functioning part. Meaning you may have a loving relationship, but you won't have a real intimate, deep, vulnerable relationship. I need you to see me. I need you to see my broken. I want you to see my heart, whatever that comes with. And I'm not embarrassed about it. But what a high functioning man may do is, if he's all the way high functioning, he has already cut off the side of him that is authentic, and there's a superficialness there that won't allow him to connect with a real person. So can he still love and experience love? Yeah, love has it just loves everything. But will he experience the depth of some of the wholeness of love, meaning the down, the up, the ugly, the heaven, the hell mom was talking about?
Okay, someone wants to come for the Camn. Clicks and views says low functioning men will never understand what she's saying. Well, I must say, I would consider myself a high functioning individual, and I don't understand what she's saying. Now, if you're attempting to say that I'm low functional or functioning or low vibrational, you're more than welcome. I can send you a link to the chat. You're more than welcome to discuss it with me. And you and I could discuss who's low functioning and who's not right now, live in front of everybody, if you like. And I'm not gonna as long as you don't get disrespectful, we could have a logical conversation where I will let you say whatever you feel is on your mind. And then I'll respond back to you. And then we can really find out who's low functioning or low vibrational if you want. Now, your response is, if you say so, sir. No, it's not what I say, it's what you say. If you want to, I'll put in the link now where you can get online with me. I mean, you could have a logical conversation about, what she's saying and whether it makes sense or not. And we could just let the viewers make the choice. I mean, luckily, it's not that many people on here now. So, if you don't feel like having an audience, we got to have an audience right now. I mean, they'll see it on the replay, but you don't have too much pressure right this moment. I mean, at the end of the day, you claim that, you're trying to be passive aggressive, but in reality, you're just talking shit. Because in reality is what, see, the thing is, that's actually why I hate to say this, clicks and views, but this is why Black women in our community, or in the community, should I say, have no man, because unfortunately there are no male hybrids. Okay, it's either you're gonna have a weak man or you're gonna have a strong man. Unfortunately, see, Black women, see, I'm kind of glad you said something. You kind of brought up the fact that yeah, you kind of brought up the fact that you know that you know that we're supposed to be low vibrational or low functioning, but no man is going to give you best of both worlds. There's no man who is dumb enough to let you lead, but then smart enough to make enough money, and then strong enough to, beat up every other man, but then weak enough to still bow down to you. You can't just do it the same way. Now, itty bitty K says she doesn't have kids. Who gives a fuck? She's still even if she don't have kids. Is she a 27-year-old doctor? The lady probably down from there 40. She probably can't even have any kids. So that's really here nor there. But then she says, no, I'll just listen. Only here for the entertainment. And that's cool, and I appreciate you for that. But just know that, if you want to talk about low vibration, I would honestly say that anyone who understands what she's saying is of low functioning, is of low vibrational, because obviously anyone who will say that, including her, doesn't understand men. Hence, why your current situation is the current situation. And I'm referring to her being unmarried. Now, with that being said, whether you're unmarried or not, I don't know, and that doesn't really matter, but, we can take a guess. Let's see here. It says, Itty Bitty K says, I was just reading your caption, and that's misinformation. Well, it does say on her IG, at Team Mom. So, I don't know. Okay, with that being said, here's the thing. I ain't gonna front. I kind of actually noticed that too. And see, if you're watching from the beginning, I hope, then I even kind of looked at it, and I was even kind of taken aback, because I was under the impression that she was a single mother. And I have to be honest with you, she doesn't really look like a single mother. She doesn't look like she even had any kids. Her titties look like it could be done. But with that being said, it does say on her IG, and I could pull it up right now, it does say something about teen mom. I was under the impression that she was a teen mother. And she might still be a teen mother. There's a possibility that she could have had a kid and her grandma and her grandparents watched the kid. It's not out of realm of the possibility. My uncle had twins, and his ex-wife, they divorced, and he ended up taking the kids from LA to New York, and he ended up becoming a doctor. Of course, he had the help of his parents and the help of his then doctor wife as well. But like I said, it does say, oh, let me just show what I say, because this is very interesting. I'm kind of like, I like having discussions about like this, where we could be transparent and we could be honest to each other, right? Okay, no, let's take it one step at a time, though. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up first. Now you say, and I ain't gonna front. It says at Team Mom, right? And I ain't gonna front. I did kind of say to myself in my head, I was like, okay, that could be a TV show, right? But I guess this will be my question to you, and maybe you can answer it or not. Because here's the thing, I don't really know. I'm really being, I'm trying to be objective here. If she's not a teen mother herself, or she's not a mother, how can she give advice or therapy or giving an advice or consultation if she knows nothing about parenting? Because here's the thing, I, may say certain things about parenting, but I only say it off of statistical data. I don't ever say, I guess I could say what I would do if I had kids, but I never come from the position of, oh, well, you should do this and you should do that. I just come from the facts and statistics. And then let's see here. Clicks and views said never wanted to be married. Okay, but do you have a long-term relationship? How long have you been with the man that you've been with now? Because you don't look like I wouldn't, I'm quite sure you're still having, I'm sure you're still having sex, even though you're not married. So, are you dealing with a guy for a long time? How long have you been dealing with him? because I done dealt with a chick for at least 14 years. I mean, maybe not all the way 14 years, but for the most part, me and her been on and off for like 14 years, you know. And that's just one woman that I did. And I'm not really monogamous, but I'm just being real. At least I could at least say that at least I've been in many long-term relationships. Now, Itty Bitty K says that's a TV show. Okay. All right. Like I said, we already discussed that. So, you know, do you have anything else to add though? And I do, and put this, I do appreciate the fact that you kind of came on and you kind of brought it up because, you know, that way we could have a real discussion because, you know, I'm not really here about, you know, I'm not here to give misinformation or to give anything that's not factual or anything like that. You know, like I don't, you know, I don't mind having a open discussion like that, you know. And if I misread her and said that she was a single mom, okay, I could be wrong that she's not a single mom, but I just kind of feel like, okay, I mean that brings another question. She's not a single mom. Why is she giving teen moms advice? So I don't know. I could be wrong. And then Clicks and Views says she is not a marriage therapist. I mean, well, she doesn't have to be a marriage therapist, but at least people who are married usually have kids. Not all married people have kids, but I mean, I'm just saying, she's on a show, or she helps produce a show called Teen Mom. How's she giving teen moms advice if she's not a mom herself? Like, once y'all could get back to me on that question, we could kind of proceed about this single mom stuff. I'm about to be on that all that night. Now, Itty Bitty K says she was speaking on creating broken homes. Do you know that slave masters gave a census to black men to impregnate the most women to their monetary gain? Actually, I did not know that, but you know, I do know for sure. I do know for sure that black women were offered slavery for having at least 10 slaves or more. As long as they were giving a man 10 slaves that are healthy, right, and was able to like survive, they were able to get their freedom. Did you know about that? So go figure. You have to have a kid every 9 months, and you have to conceive. And guess what? Like you don't get pregnant off the first round. So go figure out how long did those women have to stay to try to get their freedom. So essentially, what that means is the slaves, also known as the women of color, they have been giving up their kids to the system for their freedom, even from antebellum slavery. So I just want you to just food for thought, okay? Just food for thought on that. Now, of course, okay. All right, read that. Says her therapy is about the person, not the marriage. Well, all right. Well, like I said, I mean, I don't know, you know, what type of line of business you're in or what you do for a living, but if I was going to, I don't know, if I needed to go get surgery, I would not go to, if I wanted to get a surgery, I wouldn't go to the nail salon or the barbershop, you know, to go get a consultation. You know, I'll go to an actual, you know, dentist, or I'll go to an actual doctor in the hospital, you know. So, I mean, I kind of believe that therapy is the same way. If I'm a soldier and I have, you know, PTSD, then maybe I should talk to someone at the Veterans Hospital. Maybe I shouldn't talk to a student, a graduate student who has no life experience. Now, Itty says, even if that's true, isn't a good thing. Again, that's creating broken homes, regardless if it's a black man or a black woman. I agree. So with that being said, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I really appreciate you coming in, and you're really making this really interesting because I'm usually just talking shit. I'm really glad that you actually came on. With that being said, Itty Bitty, here's a question. With that being said, we brought up, for some reason, we as black folks, we tend not to want to let go of the past. But here's the thing, I don't mind going to the past. But let's bring it up to the future now. In 1965, the Civil Rights Bill took place where black people and white people were on the same level field, or, you know, on paper, at least that is, right? So why is it that black people before the Civil Rights Bill were more married and had way more kids than white people, but then after 1965, after they got all these rights, black women decided that they were going to go and sign up for welfare, because prior to 1965, black women were eligible for welfare, but because now they had equal rights, they're able to apply for the welfare. Why is it that 60 years later, black women are still choosing to, one, have kids with men who do not marry them. And 2, even if they do have a dude that it was willing to be around, why is it that they're willing to put that man on child support just to get Section 8 housing? Answer me that question, my love. Now, Clicks and Views said, of course not. I think you're referring to the fact of what I was saying about, about the therapist and who you should go to. And then she says, what point did she discuss that you take issue with? Well, I take issue with the fact that, I take issue with the fact that she's not taking consideration the real deal issue that he has. Cam Newton is not going to play football ever again, okay? All right, he's retired. I mean, I know you see, he's a big guy and stuff, and I know y'all seen him beat up like a couple of dudes at like his camp the other a few months ago. I understand you see him as a big mighty guy, but he can never go back and play football again, okay? His football career is over. So whatever money he's getting, he needs to baby that and and hold it like a newborn baby. And hopefully he's making investments, hopefully he's making a lot of money moves and making some type of residual income. Because if he has a divorce and it's a bad divorce, he could end up, being a has-been. He could end up, everything that he has, you see that big ass house he's in doing the interview. He ain't gonna have that house no more if he gets divorced. He has to pay taxes and all that stuff. And, we don't know how his income is looking. So a divorce could ruin a man like that. Even if he might not necessarily go to the poorhouse per se, that doesn't mean that he still wants to, risk half over love. That's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with the fact that, this man, I'm quite sure, is paying child support. He has no problem paying child support, which is something that, a lot of women kind of want anyway. Y'all want the money anyway. You want the kids anyway. Let's just be real. Women are not, especially sisters, y'all are not having any kids that y'all don't want to have. When you have a kid, you made a decision to have that kid. Whether it's before, during, or after, you made a decision to have that kid. So you wanted those kids. Whether you love those kids or not, that's a different story. But you wanted to have that kid. So with that being said, for you to go turn around and say, okay, well, he should marry them too. I'm sure ideally if he knew that he could trust them to stick around, he would marry them. But he would rather pay the child support and not get his heart broken and his wallet and his estate taken. Because guess what? When you get married, you can lose half your shit. And he knows that. That's what I have a problem with. Oh, second thing I have a problem with is you cannot hold Cam Newton accountable for broken homes when Black women are the ones who are the majority of the ones who are making broken homes. You will say, oh, well, what about the man? Well, Black women are the ones who choose who come into this world or not. And they're the ones who choose who they're going to spread their legs to. If Black women want men to stick around, they need to go ahead and date their best friends. They need to date the man that they knew down the street in their neighborhood. They need to go ahead and date that nerd. Like, ironically, sisters ain't getting pregnant by computer nerds and scholars. They tend to be getting knocked up by gangsters, pookies, and all that type of dudes. Shit crazy. XL Pro comes through and he says, touchdown. So salute to the righteous fear. Salute. Now, of course, Clicks and Views says money is not a reason. Money is not a reason he doesn't want to get married, and furthermore, he can protect his assets. That's not. See, here's the thing. Clicks and Views. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate your feedback. But man, that's actually false. He is. Trust me. If anything, he's more worried about is the finances. And you say he could protect his assets. Here's the thing, ma'am. If you want to see anything that we have to say about marriage, look, we already had this debate already. We've already seen Dr. Dre have a prenup and it was thrown out. We already see Jenny Mai is trying to get the prenup thrown out, talk about she didn't read the prenup. There's too many occasions that in high profile cases where the prenup is thrown out the window. So let's go on to the next point. Now, of course, Itty Bitty K says, well, the crack epidemic broke up a lot of African-American families. There were laws that only way Black families could get support from the government. They could not be a married unit. That's actually, all right, There's truth in that statement. Let's break that down. The crack epidemic did break up a lot of American families, but not in the way that you think. Truth be told, a lot of reason why a lot of black men started selling drugs was because they could not get regular money because one, they'll get their check garnished, and two, when when they're calling, when it was easier to kick the black man out. Like first as an example, when we all know it's hard. It's always been hard for a black man to get a job. Maybe not so much now in the 21st century, but in those times it was hard for a black man to get jobs. So guess what? Sometimes the easiest job to make money was to be a drug dealer, and guess what? A lot of people don't want to admit is a lot of women have encouraged drug dealing by dating drug dealers, by sleeping with drug dealers. By asking for asking for things that only drug dealers could provide to you. So, I mean, at the same time, if you were just willing to have a father versus a drug dealer, or willing to have a guy who had fast money, maybe black men wouldn't have been going to jail. Now, it also says, he said, the other point he said was there are laws that say that black families could get support from the government. They could not be married as a unit. I'm going to just tell you right now, I actually work for public housing, and that's false. Married people can actually get Section 8. They have to meet certain criteria, but yes, they do have to make Section 8. The flip side to it is that the reason why black women were kicking the black man out the home was not so much that, they needed to kick the man out of the home to get Section 8, but guess what? Not only did they get more, right? They got more money, but also they got the freedom. Let's keep in mind, they want the freedom too, okay? The freedom to do what they want. And the power and authority. Now, of course, he said also white people actually get more government assistance than black women. Okay, we can break this down tonight if you want to, but I've actually made a video about this already. That's actually true. All right, actually, that's actually false. This is gonna sound crazy, but white people and black people actually get welfare benefits at the same amount. Like, for example, like if you have one bank, black people get the third, white people get a third of the government assistance when it comes to that. This is the kicker. This is what black people need to understand when they talk about this. Although white people may technically have more people on Section 8 or welfare than black people, there are black people, white people outnumber black people, I believe, if not 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, meaning that out of 40 million black people, well, and that's not even including the fact that only half of those are women, but I believe there's, if I'm not mistaken, 100,000 or 125,000 white people in this country. So the frequency, I don't know if you understand frequency, but the frequency of black women using it versus white women is still higher if you understand the frequency. Meaning that even though there's more or less black women, there are more black women by frequency that's using it. So you should check that out. Now, Itty Bitty says the black women and black men should be accountable. Like I said, here's the thing, Itty Bitty. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. But here's the problem too, and that's another thing. You seem like you're pretty good at statistics. Only 40% of black men have had children, versus the fact that 80% of black women have had children. And most of the black women who have had children usually had it by a select few of black men in the community. I would say about 20% of those I would say most of those pregnancies happen from 20% of the men. That's actually why, in some black communities, there's a lot of kids who are related, because it's a certain group of women sleeping with a small group of men. And you can look that up. That's the statistical fact. OMG, this is truly entertaining. You're damn right it is. Frankly, he says, I agree that Camn should never get married. Man like that should stay single. That's true. And I believe that women who choose to have children out of wedlock should not be wives. So it sounds like we're in agreement. Now, I'm gonna play a quick video real quick, and then we're gonna get back to what you're saying. We're gonna get back to Itty Bitty, what she's saying, because this is really interesting. This is actually very funny. Let's hear what I got for y'all. Oh, here you go.
Say me Mario, please let me Luigi. No, 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 I don't think so. Why? What you saying, bro? That bitch is a Luigi. Why you are the serpent? She be creeping on the low. Who said this? Everybody knows. Oh, Mario, don't save her. She's for the streets. Don't save her. Don't save her. Please don't leave me alone. Don't save her. She even gave me the toe. Don't save her. What? Say me Mario, please let me Luigi. No, 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 I don't think so. Why? What you saying, bro? That bitch is a Luigi. Why you are the serpent? She be creeping on the low. Who said this? Everybody knows. Don't save her. Don't save her. She won't ever act and turn a cheating princess to a housewife. Don't save her. Don't save her. Let her gaslight. She ain't no victim. She came over last night. Don't save her. She won't ever act and turn a cheating princess to a housewife. Don't save her. Let her gaslight be lying when you catch her in the headlight. Say me Mario, please let me Luigi. No, 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 I don't think so. Why? What you saying, bro? That bitch is a Luigi. Why you are the serpent? She be creeping on the low. Who said this? Everybody knows.
Okay. I'm back for this little quick intermission. Now, Itty Bitty K says, I can tell you did not watch the entire video. So you are very biased. Just because a man is wealthy does not make it healthy to make multiple children in different homes. Okay, let me break this down. Okay, first and foremost, you said, I can tell you did not watch the entire video. What did I miss? Correct me where I'm wrong, because we already discussed her talking points and she didn't hit on anything. Nothing that you cannot hold Black women accountable for. Because like I said, if you want to hold, broken homes, you got to count that you could attribute that to Black women. Because Black women are the ones who choose to have sex with people who they're not married to. Now, with that being said, you said, so you are very biased because I did not watch the video. That doesn't make me biased, but he says, just because a man is wealthy does not make it healthy to make multiple children in different homes. I never said that it was healthy. Where did I ever say that it was okay for him to do that? I never said it was actually okay to do that. Even though he doesn't care about paying child support, I kind of feel like that's not necessarily responsible either, because child support is a wealth killer as well. But he is Cam Newton, and I guess he does have a little bit of money. He's willing to pay child support. He's like Nick Cannon. He don't care. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even have to pay child support. Maybe he's just, breaking him off a lot of money. Maybe he got money like that. But for him to but if he was to get married, a lot of his control would be relinquished to the women based off of the modern day laws. Anyway, that's, here's the thing. I meant to do a live 45. I went past that on this discussion. So we're going to move on to the next discussion. We're going to move on to the next discussion, but I think I want to play the rest of that video. Hold on. I think I got more of that video left.
No. Trauma bonds usually feel like the most intense, in love, deepest relationships, because you got two at the epitome of vulnerability, pain pocket people who are bonding. And most people who are low functioning are exactly who they are. They're low for their pain, their trauma. They gonna flee, they gonna scream, they gonna hit, they gonna do whatever comes up. There's no awareness, there's no stop, there's no nothing. I'm triggered, I'm inflamed, we just go to let's tear this thing up. High functioning only means, Cam, that I feel them same feels. I still feel, excuse my language, you got me fucked up. I'm ready to go there. I'm flamed, I'm triggered. And high functioning means I can regulate those emotions and say, right now, I'm ready to rip this man's head off. Right now, he got me all the way fucked up. Okay, so how do I relay that message to him where it's gonna be respectful, It's going to be non-combative, and I'm going to disarm him. While he still knows, you got me fucked up.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
You see that? That's that spirit. See, that's that spirit. That's that Jezebel spirit right there. And for a professional, she, one, curses a lot, and two, she's using a lot of low vibrational language, low functioning, high functioning, low functioning, high functioning, low functioning. All she essentially just said was emotional versus logical. Because if you're high functioning and you're considering what you're going to say, that means you're being logical. If you're low functioning, then you're emotional. All she did was try to put her own little lingo to it to make it sound like she was saying something.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
With that being said, we're going to go on to the next subject. Now, we're kind of talking about, sisters in the hood, having broken families and stuff. How did this behavior start? Because, these are not virgins just going and just say, hey, you know what? I'm about to just get pregnant by the first guy I sleep with. But you end up realizing a lot of these chicks who end up having these kids anyway, they usually have history. And that history goes way back. So 3 or 4 is life. Check it.
By the time I was 10, I was masturbating 9 times a day. Up to at least 9 times a day. Why? Because I had a lot of SA trauma that resulted in me becoming hypersexual. So by the time I was old enough to comprehend what sex actually was, I had become so desensitized to it that it was nothing more than a performative act for me. It was nothing more than a means to an end. Maybe I was really sad that day and I needed something to take my mind off of it. I would go have sex. Maybe I've been having a depressive episode. I would go have sex. I would use as a coping mechanism because it had become so part of my life, and it was the only thing that I really knew, and it was the only thing that I knew to run to. It's no different than how someone goes to smoking or drinking or doing any other hardcore drugs. At first, it starts off as a coping mechanism, and then it becomes an addiction. And gradually, it became from a coping mechanism into a full-fledged addiction. Till it got to the point, if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm mad, if something's not going right in life, if my finances aren't right, whatever the case may be, I was running to have sex. In that moment, I don't know if it was something being released inside of my brain. I'm not sure. I'm not a therapist. I'm not here to tell you the science behind it or the logical sense. I'm just here to share my experience and what I was feeling and what I went through. All I know is every time that I would run to have sex, in that moment, I would feel great. I would feel exhilarated. I would feel beautiful. I would feel attentive. I would feel like I was in control. I would feel like I was in control.
Emotional damage.
The only thing that you was control of was just giving her that body. That's it. Because it's not like you freak him, he freaks you. But one thing that I did say on Facebook that people did not like was the fact that I said to them, I said, well, she had a father in the home that she wouldn't have to be worried about getting touched up. A lot of people said to me that that could still take place in a 2-parent household. I beg to differ. Especially in Black communities. A lot of kids get dropped off at their grandmother's house where they're in contact with other people's kids, their own siblings, or even their cousins and other family members, maybe even family members who are not even directly related to them. And unfortunately, bad things do happen to these people. She mentioned SA. I'm quite sure that she wasn't referring to her father. Let's just keep it real.
Holy Jesus.
Here goes some more hotels.
I was homie hopping one time and caught 2 STDs. I wasn't being very smart, and the man that I was messing with had hurt my little old feelings. And you know how we think. oh, since you want to do wrong by me, I'm going to do wrong by you. And you know what they say, 2 wrongs ain't never going to make a right, and they're absolutely 100% right. So, in an attempt to get my lick back and prove my point, yes, I hopped on over to his friend. His friend slid in my DMs first, probably was already a setup, but I digress. Went over to his friend, rolled that man until the sun came up. I mean, I pulled out my best bag of tricks thinking that I was going to make this other man mad. No. Couple of weeks go by, cootie cat don't feel right. Turns out, burnt. Okay? Moral of the story is you lay with dogs, you'll get fleas every time. You cannot get your lick back on anybody by fucking around. It's never gonna do anything. Like, the only way that you'll ever successfully get your lick back on a man is by leaving him alone. Leaving him right where he got you fucked up at and standing on business and never turning back down. Like, that's it. Homie hopping will get you nowhere in life.
Mm-hmm. Now, I must say, I gotta keep it a buck. She lying. And I ain't saying that she's lying about her whole story. What she's lying about is she claimed that she cheated back. Of course, she can put the disclaimer to make it she's a victim. Oh, she cheated back. No, you cheated on your dude with his homie. And guess what? His homie was Dirty Dick Rodney. That's all it was.
Emotional damage.
All right. So, Mojo Heart says straight jacket paging Dr. Bryant. Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but, because I don't really answer to anything like passive aggressive. Oh, I know what you mean. Wow. Okay. I think I know what you mean. But salute. Now, of course, let's see what else I got for y'all. As a matter of fact, in my whole heart, I got some more hotels for you. Check it.
My school life. I was the black sheep of my family, and I was severely mistreated in my home, and I was left out, neglected, and bullied in school. I walked to school every day by myself with my headphones in, listening to my music, and I walked home every day by myself. I never bothered anyone. I never talked to anyone. I was a very shy child. These boys were extremely handsome and very popular in school, and they also happened to have to walk every day to school, to and from. And one day, they decided to start speaking to little old me. Now, you have to understand my perspective at this time. I was a nobody and nothing, both in school and in my home life. Nobody gave a damn about me, to the point teachers had to bring food to school, groceries for me at one point in time. And all of a sudden, the popular boys were coming up to me and talking to me while we were walking home to school together. Not only were they popular, they were attractive. All the girls wanted them. They were in ROTC, they played sports, they were light-skinned, they had the curly hair, the best fits, the flyest Jordans, and they were talking to me? With my raggedy clothes, with my hand-me-downs, with my hot waters, with my hair all over my head, with my funky armpits? I felt like I was dreaming. I couldn't believe it. Like, this could finally be my chance. I could finally have some friends. I could finally be part of the popular crowd. I could finally be in. Right? They told me that I was cool. That they wanted me to come over and play games with them. So that's what I did. One day I followed them home. I walked right down the street with them to their house. And I went inside to play Call of Duty with them. I remember their home was much different from my home life. Their mom was in the kitchen cooking. Their aunts were in there. They was all chit-chatting. They offered me a plate. Their brothers and cousins were all in the room playing together. I was so amazed. I felt so welcomed. I felt so at home. I thought to myself, I never want this feeling to stop. I don't want to go back home to where I was at and get cussed out, yelled, and abused. This is amazing. I got new friends and maybe even a new family too. We played Call of Duty until the sun went down, and then his mom told me I needed to go home. As I was going home, he told me, come back. I'll sneak you in so that we can play the game some more. When it started to get dark, I obviously had to head back home. But as I was getting ready to leave, he came up to me and said, come back tonight. I'll sneak you in so we can play more of the game. 14-year-old me, who wouldn't want to play more of the game with one of the most popular boys in school? Come on now. So that's what I did. I came back. And we played the game. And then he leaned over and he touched me. And he kissed me. And he told me I was pretty. In my mind, it was like someone blew my head off. The popular boy in school just told me I was pretty and kissed me and likes me. That's what he's telling me. He likes me. Fast forward and he's got my clothes off and we're doing the whoop-de-woo and I'm completely vulnerable. And as we're doing it and he turns me over and tells me to get on my hands and knees and arch my back, I hear the door crack open. I look up in shock, gasp, thinking his mom has called us and we're about to be in so much trouble, but nope. It's his brother. He never stopped stroking me. As his brother walked in, I sat there in disbelief, my mind racing. Mind you, I hadn't even had sex really before this. You know, a couple of little playful things here and there, but this was really my first full time going all the way. So now I'm wondering what's going on. Why hasn't he stopped? Do I stop? Do I lay here? Do I tell him to stop? I don't really know. His brother walks in, he never stops stroking, and then he leans down and whispers in my ear, can my brother get a turn? I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to do. Do I say no? Do I say yes? I mean, I should say no, right? Can your brother get a turn? I don't even know your brother, but I finally have some friends. And their family's really nice to me. I hate to mess this up. So him and his brother get a turn. But then the door cracks open again. And here comes his cousin. Ain't no fun unless we all get some, right? That's what they told to me. I'll spare you all the details of my sad sob story, but let's just say fast forward, everyone has their fun, I guess. And it's time for me to go home. And I'm confused. And I'm ashamed. And I don't really have anybody I can talk to about it. I don't know what I just did. And I don't even know if I liked what I just did. Anyways, because I know this video is getting long and you guys probably don't want to hear all the details. Long story short, back then, I didn't realize that I was a victim. I didn't realize that that was a manipulation tactic. I didn't realize I was targeted. Back then, I was just ashamed. I felt like I had been a whore, a harlot. I felt disgusting. I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I should have moved smarter. And I also, in the same breath, felt like, finally, somebody loves me. Somebody wants me. Finally, I'm pretty enough. Finally, I'm good enough. And it was two confusing different feelings. And now that I'm older, I really understand what was going on. And I'm just making this video to spread awareness for the other girls that may have had the same thing happen to them or may have gone through similar things and were always too ashamed to bring it up or speak their truth. You were a victim.
Now, of course, let's see here. Now, of course, Mojo Hart says, all trauma, zero effort to get help. They know their issues to hide from the man. Yeah, man. You know what's crazy? Because she ain't a bad-looking chick. She wasn't a bad-looking chick at all. A matter of fact, like, I don't know if a matter of fact, this looks like the same chick. That ain't the same girl? That look like the same girl, don't it?
When I was 14.
That look like the same exact chick. Now, with that being said, you know, at the end of the day, I do, you know what? I say this much. I do believe her story. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. It's not all her fault. And You know what's messed up? The truth is that, was she manipulated? Hell yeah, she was manipulated. There's some truth to that. Guided and undecided, misguided and undecided. A lot of things like this happen to these chicks when they get turned out, It's the same thing with pimping, Pimping, it's never no dude who just comes out and just tells a girl to start selling herself. All pimps will see what pimps don't, what people don't know about the pimp game is the chick is essentially, the pro is essentially his girlfriend. And, when she ain't selling that poon thing, she's giving it to him. And he's getting basically her sloppy seconds. Or you're getting her sloppy seconds, or vice versa. Now, my whole heart says our tattoo artist, therapist now. Is that what she is, a tattoo artist? Well, I definitely know that she definitely gets tattoos because she was tatted up. Yeah, that's crazy too. Like, that's all I'm kind of wondering too. I was like, okay, if you're this, and I'm supposed to, like, I wasn't really convinced that she was like this good girl because it's like, okay, there's a lot of girls who look like good girls and they're still getting trains run on them. But they didn't have tattoos and, what's those things, septum rings and stuff like that, But like I said, there's a typical 304 outfit and then the non-304 outfit. There are some 304s out there who have no tattoos. There are some. But the tattoos and stuff, I don't know. I don't know how much of a good girl you was. You were probably just socially awkward. Like you said, you had a messed up upbringing. Shit crazy. But anyway, man, it's been about an hour, power hour. It's getting a little late. Once again, y'all, it's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. Cali West, I'm gone.